Imagine a battlefield where no soldiers ride in tanks, no crews sit in armored vehicles, and the first wave of attack is made up entirely of robots. That's not a scene from Terminator. That's the future the U.S. Army is building right now. It's called the Robotic Combat Vehicle, or RCV. Some call it the next big step in saving soldiers' lives. Others call it a dangerous leap toward wars fought by killer machines. So the question is, are we entering a new era of safer combat, or a terrifying age where robots decide who lives and who dies? Welcome back to Machine Squad. Today, we're diving into the most controversial military project you've never heard of, America's Robotic Combat Vehicle. The U.S. Army learned a painful truth in Iraq and Afghanistan. Armored vehicles, like the Humvee, and even the mighty Abrams tank are vulnerable to IEDs, ambushes, and urban traps. Thousands of American soldiers were killed or wounded by roadside bombs, cheap, deadly, and impossible to predict. So the Army asked itself, what if the first vehicle into danger didn't have a crew inside? That's how the Robotic Combat Vehicle program was born. Its mission? Put robots in harm's way, not soldiers. The RCV isn't just one vehicle, it's a whole family of machines. RCV Light, small, agile, and fast, perfect for reconnaissance, scouting, and even light weapons. RCV Medium, a bit larger, designed to carry cannons, machine guns, or anti-tank missiles. RCV Heavy, the big one. Think of it as a robotic tank, possibly powerful enough to complement or even replace the M1 Abrams one day. All of them are remotely operated, semi-autonomous, and modular. That means one soldier can control several RCVs from a safe distance. And if needed, the RCVs can operate in groups, almost like a swarm of armored robots. So what makes the RCVs so different from regular tanks? 1. Remote weapon systems. RCVs can be armed with heavy machine guns, 30mm autocannons, or even anti-tank javelins, all fired remotely. 2. AI navigation. Advanced sensors and AI allow the vehicle to detect terrain, avoid obstacles, and follow orders without constant input. 3. Silent hybrid engines. Some prototypes use hybrid electric engines for stealthy movement. 4. Modular design. They can swap out weapon pods, sensors, or supply modules depending on the mission. 5. Network warfare. RCVs connect with drones, satellites, and command centers, becoming part of a bigger digital battlefield. In short, the RCV is not just a vehicle, it's a robot soldier. The Army has been testing several designs from private defense companies. Textron Ripsaw M5 looks like something out of a sci-fi movie. Equipped with a 30mm cannon, javelin missiles, and AI-driven sensors. Kinetic RCVL, a lighter model tested with machine guns, smoke launchers, and surveillance gear. GDLS Griffin RCV, a medium variant built on proven armored vehicle platforms. These prototypes were put through trials at Project Convergence, the Army's massive exercise for future warfare. And the results? Mixed. Some RCVs performed well, others struggled with communication, hacking risks, and rough terrain. Here's the Army's vision. First wave, RCVs go ahead of manned units. They scout, draw enemy fire, and test defenses. Second wave, human soldiers and Abrams tanks and Bradley IFVs move in once the RCVs expose enemy positions. Support role. RCVs carry ammo, supplies, or even evacuate wounded without risking more lives. Urban warfare. Instead of risking soldiers in city streets, RCVs can patrol alleys, breach doors, and detect ambushes. The Army believes RCVs will save lives, speed up operations, and make U.S. forces more lethal than ever. But here's where things get heated. Critics argue the RCV is a dangerous path. 1. AI and autonomy. What happens when robots make targeting mistakes? What if an AI misidentifies civilians as threats? 2. Hacking threats. If an enemy takes control of an RCV, America's robot tank could be turned against its own soldiers. 3. Escalation risk. If one side uses robots, the other side will too. Could this lead to wars fought almost entirely by machines? 4. Moral dilemma. Is it ethical to send killer robots into battle, where they might kill without human empathy? Even some generals are cautious. They know RCVs might save lives, but they might also make war easier to start, because politicians won't risk American lives if only robots fight. The US isn't alone in this race. Russia has its Run-9 robot tank, armed with cannons and rockets. It saw combat in Syria but failed badly, losing contact with operators. China is developing UGVs, like the Shark Claw and Mule 200, aiming for fully autonomous battlefield systems. NATO allies like Estonia have built the Themis, a modular UGV already used in Ukraine. If America leads with the RCV, other nations will follow. This could trigger a new robot arms race, one not just in the air with drones, but on the ground with robot tanks. Picture a battlefield in 2035. A squad of Abrams tanks is followed by a swarm of RCVs. Drones circle overhead, feeding data to AI command centers. No humans in the first line of fire, only robots fighting robots. That's the US Army's dream. But will it work? Or will it turn into a nightmare of uncontrollable AI-driven warfare? The Robotic Combat Vehicle represents the Army's most ambitious leap into the future of ground combat. It promises to save lives, give American soldiers an edge, and reshape the battlefield forever. But it also raises terrifying questions. Who controls the robot warriors of tomorrow? What happens when AI makes the wrong call? And will wars become easier to start if it's machines, not humans, dying first? The RCV is not just a machine, it's a mirror of our future. So what do you think? Is America's robotic combat vehicle a brilliant step towards safer warfare, or a dangerous mistake that could unleash battles we can't control? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Machine Squad, where we break down the most controversial weapons of the modern age.